Welcome back, guys. We're back live.
Hello.
A few technical difficulties.
Skype be Skyping.
Yep.
But it works 92% of the time, so give it credit for that.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Exactly. Welcome on the last day before Section 31. So be ready for the world to be changed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not about that today, are we?
No, today we're talking about lower decks. The ships of lower decks, as chosen by you guys.
And this is a fun one.
Which is great. Sorry.
It is fun. It's great, Stuart. What are you going to say?
Oh, nothing.
What's great about this, and fun about this, and special about this, thank you, is that it's got new ships, but they actually have lots of old ships. So there's actually a pretty broad spectrum of what they did well and not well. We've reviewed every single one over the years because they've brought, we're always intrigued to see a Nova version or a Galaxy or whatnot, the Purple Galaxy or all the different things. So it's a lovely cornucopia, and as ever, we'll judge it based on how they appear in the show. Most things are relatively small appearance, but things like the Defiant, as showing up once, as the Defiant, obviously class not ship name, it did very well. It'll be probably quite high on this based on appearance and vibe. So it's a pretty broad spectrum of ships that are both classic and new, old and yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing about lower decks. They brought us a lot of new designs, like the California class, the Parliament class, the Texas class. There's a lot of new ships that lower decks brought us, which we really appreciate. So yeah, we're going to look at those, and it's all up to you guys. You guys get to pick.
This is ships after all. So I'm going to start sharing, and we'll see in a minute, and sort of lay out some suggestions. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys have to talk about, because we haven't really looked back at the season, the early season ships. So how do they stack up? Yeah, interesting. See you in a sec.
Yeah. So super chat in with your ships, guys. We already got one super chat from Olivia, so thank you. We'll get to that in a second. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you guys to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss any content from us. Also, hit the like button. It's a free way to help us out. Helps out the analytics. We really appreciate that. If you can, please do. There's a join button down there on YouTube. You can click the join button and join us on a monthly basis to support the channel, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards to do the same thing. We appreciate it. Excuse me. Also, make sure that you click the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. The TeePublic store has a sale going on, which will be up to 40% off. So click that link, check the stuff out, see if there's anything you guys are interested in, Trekyards related or otherwise. There's a lot of other really cool stuff over on TeePublic, and it all helps us out if you use the link down below and look at that stuff. And if you order something, it helps us out. So if you can, please do. We really appreciate that. Yeah, we're looking forward to talking about animated lower decks ships. The good, the bad, and the maybe ugly. I don't know. We'll see. Nothing will top our handsome lady. Yes, Rochester producers. Dan Ben, yeah, I like that they added the shuttle bay force field and torpedo tube detail from season 2 on. Yes, yeah. Yeah, there are different iterations of the ship as it goes along, and especially in the last episode, you got to see a lot of different versions of the Cerritos. So again, there's a lot of old ships as well as new designs, and new takes on designs, new nacelles and whatnot that we can look at. So definitely a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, wait for Sam to come back from sharing this, and we will dive right in head first, as we tend to do. Oh look, he's back. What a twist.
So say we all? No.
Sure.
What's the Mandalorian one?
This is the way.
This is the way.
Or I have spoken. all the things. And Sam can't speak because he's got a cough.
It's worse today, guys. Every day symptoms have changed for my thing. I've only got one slide, one thing, and a pill. So I'm over halfway through now. So hopefully it'll fix me at some point. But I'm here, and that's the main thing.
And we'll be here on Sunday as well to do a live Trekyards review of the Section 31 trailer. And heaven only knows.
Film, not the trailer, the film.
Did I say trailer? I meant the film.
There's not quite enough to do as a Trekyards for the trailer, but we might have. I think either way, Stuart, this is the thing we have to get drunk to do content on.
Yeah.
In the fullest way possible.
So if you guys can tune up, turn in. Oh my God, turn up. Tune in. That's the one.
Yep.
And have us drink while we're reviewing Section 31. We might appreciate that.
And make it a game. Drink with us. Play the, I think that could be really fun. Because we're going to do some content, of course. We're hopeful for lots of Wrath of Khan era stuff. We're hoping for some new ships. We're hoping for some classic ships. We're hoping for some Maroons. Hoping for assault phasers. Hoping for, maybe a flash forward to Enterprise C with Richard Garrett. Hoping for everything, right? All canon because it's a Lost Era show. Very exciting. So join us for at least our editor review soon. Are you doing a first reaction tomorrow night? Is that good?
Possibly. I don't know. It might have to be Saturday night. Depends on when I can get around to seeing it.
That I know. It's not quite the same as a show. We've got to really commit to the time to watch it. It's a bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
But
likely tomorrow night I'll be doing a first reaction review. So.
It's like I was saying, even if we wanted to do the normal live reaction tomorrow, we'd have to watch it, talk about it, review it, edit the review, watch it again before the live, do the live. Not enough hours in the day. That's why we're not doing the live tomorrow, because we couldn't there's not enough time, right?
Yeah.
So
Sunday's the day.
Sunday.
All right, well, let's get started with this one. Olivia throws in $5. The California class Season 2 refit.
And do you want to tell the audience what she means by the Season 2 refit? The same ship for all 5 seasons, right?
Well, there's more detail added to the second season. You get the force fields for the shuttle bays. The torpedo launchers are confirmed.
Exist.
Yes. So we kind of speculate about that in Season 1. But yeah, they added details that they didn't necessarily have in Season 1. So that's what we're talking about. So yeah. Mark Lawrence says, popping in while at work. And I first read that as pooping in while at work. So I figured you're watching us while you're taking a poop.
Could be.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is at work on a break.
I mean, how many people who are on the toilet watch Trekyards?
No one. If they did, they wouldn't have a phone because these guys are awful. Throw it in the toilet and flush it.
Oh, look, didn't you hear Trekyards the number 2 cause of phone destruction per year?
Oh, well, I was hoping for number 1, but okay.
No, that's politics. Just in general. The subcategory is large. Season 2 version. This is the Season 2 title sequence, which they did update. So, yeah.
I mean, the California class is an odd one, because when we first saw it, I didn't like it, and we talked about it quite a bit at the time. It was an interesting design choice. It's older era than the Galaxy class, the Enterprise, and kind of shows with the saucer shape. It's very reminiscent of a kind of an ambassador class, a round saucer feel. And it grew on us the longer we looked at it. Now, we did complain about it a little bit in Season 1 because it was lacking a lot of the details, or we were speculating what things were because they weren't detailed properly. And that gets, of course, fixed. And Season 2, like we said, torpedo launchers, got force fields around the shuttle bays. This picture's bloody awful because the blinkies are crazy. It looks like it's decorated for Christmas. There's a lot of red and green blinkies on this one. But overall, I kind of like the Cerritos design. It definitely grew on me. It feels like a cohesive, cool design. I love that it's got different style nacelles. I love a lot of the details and also the stripes. Because we know there are different California classes that have different colored stripes. Yellow, red, blue. And it being an engineer ship doesn't have or second contact ship, whatever, doesn't have the registry and the name up front. It's got it at the back, kind of like a tramp stamp, just towing other ships and things. So it's got an interesting take and feel. And yeah, I absolutely think that they did a good job in season 2, refining it and making it a little bit better. And I think it got, a little bit better little things here and there over the course of the show, the series. So yeah, season 2 was a big improvement though. So I like the Cali class. It's grown on me.
Yeah, they listen to fans, which is tremendous. Yeah, and how many shows really do you hold the cartoon, which is going to have infinitely smaller budget per episode, right, than a live action, where therefore you have to really focus the money and be judged in a way. They shouldn't necessarily be judged with the same standard of live action because they haven't got the budget, money, or time. Even though you could argue it's a lot easier because it's all on screen, you can control it a lot better, etc., etc. So the fact that we looked at the show and thought, oh, it's missing these things, and you could argue, fine, whatever, doesn't need to. But the fact they then took that upon themselves and actually did improve, and they did stuff that is pretty obvious, like the speed launchers, blinkies, which are still somewhat broken, and they do fix them later. This is the season 2 version. Is good. I mean, it never gets much more detailed, but something as simple as making the windows not bloom, right? Making them they're the same size but feel smaller in scale itself was important, right? Mm-hmm. So the improvements were notable, and by the end, obviously, even more of those balances out, which were great. Could have was more detail on the bottom secondary hull, was always lacking, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a ship that is weird, but it suits better in contrast. When this came out as an announcement, it's like, oh, it's okay. But then you compare to La Serena, to all the other things, like, oh yeah, it all makes sense, kind of. So yeah.
Where do we rank the Cerritos? It's a good way to kick off.
So I'll go A, because I think the version at the end, which has the correct blinkies, should be the S. Because the blinkies, I understand the logic. They were meant to be, each of these things are side pods, so therefore they're green and red. But it entirely ruins, it makes it like a Christmas tree ship. So when they fix that, then it's there. So that is a noteworthy. Okay. And also, this version had a bridge window because we see it crack. Later on, it doesn't. It has a bridge. So yeah, I think this version slightly less than the last version.
Cool.
Because those blinkies are important because they do change the vibe.
Blinkies are important. So there you go. Kicking off with Cerritos Season 2. And Dan Ben throws in 2 pounds and says the Akira class, my favorite Starfleet ship.
I googled this and there was no images of this in Lower Decks, so I had to go to Memory Alpha and see when it was seen, because I don't remember seeing Akira necessarily. And it was in 3 episodes of Lower Decks, 2 as a model, well, 1 as a model, 1 as a flashback, and in this episode for real. In a dry dock that's barely notable. So that's currently the best picture that I have. And it's the one that's...
Oh, yeah, there, I see it. I'm going to have to zoom in on that because otherwise people will get super confused as to what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, so that I know it's in there because I remember that, but I'm going to look at Grounded as well, which is the only other time it says. So let's see where it is in that.
Well, there is the Akira in that scene. That's not an Akira.
Yeah, it is. It's just weird Akira. There's a whole video on it, which sounds dumb, but yeah.
It's got the pontoons. Doesn't have the...
It does. It's just a weird angle. I did a render comparison. They lined up.
Okay. Well, there you go. For its underuse and for its particular appearance, I'm gonna have to give it a D. Just because, yeah, it doesn't look quite right. I see now that, yeah, it does kind of make sense.
Oh, there we go. Found the other shot. Okay, cool, great. Finally. So
okay.
So this was its only appearance in a moving image.
Okay.
And this is only appearance of full detail shot, which is, I think that's just an Eagle Moss render that they just drew over. Or a real shot they drew over. Right there.
Oh, okay.
This is the Morgan Batesman sequence of pictures.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, that's better.
It's definitely a paint over a render. Like it is a very good shot of the ship in general, but yeah. Thoughts, Stuart O'Buddy pal?
It's better than the last one, that's for sure. And yeah, Bateson, cool. That's a great, little nod and bonus point, I guess, for it. Phaser is not coming out of the phaser strip, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's a light blinky there for the registry. There's no registry, but there's a thing there, which obviously is like.
But considering that I didn't remember this was a thing, this one I'll chalk up to a C personally.
Yes.
He says confidently.
I would say
D.
No, I think as much as this guy's in C, he's stepping on thin ice of D. But I think it's a nice enough. I mean, a paint over is often all you can afford and need and want. And guess what? If you do it, it looks great because that's all you need. So yeah.
All right, I'll get a C.
But not a C with pride. And it's odd because it's such a well-liked ship. And again, the ILM model existed, the Eagle also existed, that you could convert them, etc., etc. It was all there ready to go.
All right, Solaris, the long hauler rail fan, $5. Hey guys, you consider whether or not the railroads are still revenant in the Star Trek universe, considering the final mile. Yeah. I mean, probably not. You can just beam cargo anywhere you want on Earth. I mean, the only thing that you'd want a railroad for would be for nostalgic purposes, and you got a holodeck. You could do that in. I still think there would be a few railroads around just for heritage sake, but yeah, no. And if anything, it'd be bullet trains, unmanned. The coaxium train from Star Wars. Maybe upside down, hanging from the rails instead of the other way around. Something futuristic.
Yeah, I mean, we see a trainish station at Starfleet Academy. There's a thing that goes through, so we know there are. It makes a lot of sense.
A monorail.
Yeah, I think they would still exist and be better than they are now, because you could easily If I was assuming and I was writing in, I would assume there'd be one not new now, but there'd be one network that covers the entire planet, and it's, like I said, super fast. You can get literally from Russia to America on one train that afternoon, if not quicker, or the different versions, but like it's that quick because it takes a lot more power to beam, and shuttles. There's only so many shuttles, and you have to hire a shuttle. Whereas I think if you need to move many people or cargo, it's easier. You need the lowest common denominator way as well, and no one's got cars, no one's got private shuttles to fly around in, so there has to be public transport as the 90th percentile, because beaming would be most in the earlier eras. But if they build worldwide trains for the post-Roman War era, they aren't going to be knocked down because they're so useful. They just won't be used as much. So I think absolute trains would be very useful. They'd just be better and more efficient.
Yep.
But you can also have like train ways, like the shuttle in Star Trek the motion picture, which like it's not actually on a rail, but that's like a train car, and you just take train cars across. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's a route so you don't crash, but it's not on a track. But sometimes there's a bit of land. It's like this is Yeah,
they'd be make-lift trains, or they'd hover. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't actually send one giant train. You send one that carries 100 people at 4,000 miles an hour. So that's fine. Yeah.
Next up is Mark Lawrence with $20. Thanks so much, Mark. Pakled clump ship, bigger super chat since it's a lot of different ships in one.
And just for that, Mark, because you know this as well, there are 2 different clump ships. So we're going to look at both, and there's no reason for them to change, as in no reason in canon. I mean, technically there's 4 because the first 3 are different, but
it makes sense that they're different if they're cobbling together different parts of different ships. But
I mean, different as in they change from that into everything the same. So this is the first batch of clump ships, because they are, and as we know from the team who interviewed them, they were always just map paintings. They were never 3D modelled. So they thought that'd be a better way of doing it, which it was great, but only so many angles. So there you go, the first gen of clump ship that we saw.
I think the clump ships are a nice touch. They're a good collaborative effort. And there's something you wouldn't expect from the Pakleds, but you can see elements of different starships in there, which is very cool because that's exactly what the Pakleds would do. I think they're creatively very awesome that they were brought in, and they are menacing. They are large. They feel ominous, and being commanded by Pakleds who aren't that bright is super dangerous and scary. So yeah, I think they kind of hit it out of the park with the clump ships, if I'm honest. I really like them, and they're a good addition to the canon. So
now then the question is, this version or the standardized version? Without putting that back on screen, so we'll in a second. Gut reaction, do you like the randomness of these, or the fact that the later version is then a standardized version?
Probably the standardized version is what I would prefer, but
we'll see in a second. So obviously these are 3 different ships, but I guess we'll talk about the brand of these together versus whatever. So I love the concept of these. I think they're excellent, and obviously they went in for a great direction. But unlike the other version, these 3 are not quite which part's which. They're more junk feeling. They're more original feeling, but they have not got a consistent vibe. They more have a, oh look, stuff put together. It works, but I like the constructed chaos where each part is a familiar ship design. I don't know what things are in this, right? Like that top version, they're all nacelles, like, that's from where, right?
Yeah.
It has a very different feel. So I kind of like these being like for first gen, like Cage era Connies of the full version that comes in. You know, it's a proto version. This was the template. I want to give these things a strong B. I think the other ones would be higher, but I think they deserve a lot of respect for an almost unimaginably tall mountain to climb of creativity and stupidity, and they did it frickin' amazing. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, gotta give them a lot of props because they did a really good job with that. Something you wouldn't expect going in, seeing something like that. So,
well, we've said this before.
Yeah, good addition.
Early loadettes kind of peaked a bit. They had a lot of good stuff right away. Not saying that stuff was later, but yeah, a lot of stuff was right away. So the second version, and because I just got a clearer render, we're going to use my Nick Sketcher and Matt Borman live action version because we obviously try to be very faithful with the design on it. And you know, plug. So yeah, the Pakled clump ship default version, which as what we see in Wage Douche, and they did the scan of all different parts. So you know, you've got the Pakled head, you've got the Romulan parts, you've got the Klingon D5 parts, you've got most parts are familiar, which is wonderful. So yeah, thoughts on this version?
Still menacing, still definitely unique and interesting. But yeah, I do prefer this one to some of the other ones. The other ones were interesting in and of themselves, but yeah, this one is higher than the other ones. I almost want to. Well, I don't want to hear what you have to say about it, but I have a thought for ranking. But I like this one. I really do. It maintains that look.
Yeah, I mean, I really grew to like this one, having worked with it in the film. It's got a shocking amount of good vibe. It shouldn't, and it does. I love the parts chosen. They're both sort of arbitrary and yet not. Having the Pakled ship as a head was obviously brilliant. The Deredex is the wrong scale, but adds questions. I love the yellow, green, purple engines. Variety, I just think it's such an odd... These are not normal colours you use for things. And it does feel menacing as hell. It's awesome.
I was thinking of putting this as an S just for pure creativity and just its uniqueness, but yet not unique because it's using other parts in different ships. So it's kind of a clever use and definitely makes sense for the Pakled. So like I said, a good addition to canon and it's definitely a good thing from the Lordex team. So
I want to give it an S as well. I think this is a shockingly zeitgeisty, successful piece. It is literally better than some of its parts, but its parts were also really good, well chosen. Yeah, I think this is a really, really excellent thing. I'm sorry I didn't see it again in the last season. No, I think it's an S. Not for yeah. Well, I don't say not for looks. It also looks kind of cool. As a design, it actually really works well as a piece. I think this is one of their best ship designs. Yeah, cool. Glad you glad we
And
have
it
got
does
that.
look menacing.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just doing a poll, so.
Yes, I was busy finding. But the next one's also a good option.
All right, so
Good
let's set up a
shout.
poll, guys.
Ooh.
Favorite new design from Lower Decks: the California class, the Parliament class, or the Texas class?
I like that.
Let us know. I was trying to think of a fourth one, but I couldn't. So.
And guys, if you want to put what episode your ship is in, that will make my searching slightly quicker. And the quicker I can do it, the quicker we can go through them at a good pace. So, Ancient Ship, I know what episode it's in, but I've got to go find it versus episode season 2, episode 4. So, keep that in mind, guys. Would be super helpful. Thanks in advance.
Yes. All right, so next up we've got Threefold Path, 10 pounds. I might be biased because I enjoyed the episode so much. But as an Enterprise fan, I love seeing the Vulcan ship in the Rouge Douche episode of season 2. The arrival and the battle at the end was just epic. Yeah, this is another really interesting design because it's different than some of the other Vulcan ships we've seen in Enterprise and stuff. It's more advanced. It has a good look still. It maintains that ring. It was great to see. And again, it looks fantastic. The way they've got it in this picture looks amazing. So I love the addition to the pods on the side of the ring. Yeah, there's lots to like here. Yeah.
And this was one of my most funny little revelation moments where we're doing the episode, and as I was doing it, I mean, you know, it's obviously familiar to a Akira, etc. But as I was doing the content for the breakdown, I worked out that every single piece of this ship is a kit bash of an Enterprise model.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it doesn't feel or look that way. But I was able to manually make this ship, like mostly, in the episode, and I made a render. Like, not identical, of course, because I didn't want to... I'm not going to stretch every piece perfectly, but like, I was able to make an almost identical replica because I had the pieces. But that is... Same with the Pakled. That is a very well done job of just having fun. This is an exceptional Vulcan ship in that it doesn't break the mold at all, but it actually looks really cool, and I like the addition of the side pod emitters. They're a bit garish, but not too garish. And this thing was wonderfully big. Doesn't fit the scale of the windows, but yeah, I mean, for non-breaking the wheel, it's great.
All right, so ranking it.
The only issue
again,
is that is it creative enough? Because I have nothing to say bad against it, but it is a kit bash of other things. So we're in the line of... So that's the only thing I'll say on that.
Yeah, for me, I was thinking B slot. Just because it is recognizable, you know what it's trying to be, but it is different enough. And, you know, if they used it more, maybe it could get a higher rank. But
A common problem in low decks.
yes.
Which actually got the opposite TNG. They kept using the same recycle ships, and they're like, "Nah, we'll do the same one and just never use it again." It's like, what? No, just use it
Nobody
again.
will notice. Nobody will notice.
So I'm torn because I think it could easily be a low A, because I think it is incredibly successful. So I'll let you do final pick on that, because it creativity versus success. I'll let you pick on that, because like I said, there's nothing. I have no issues with it at all. It's a great looking ship that fits.
You know what? I think low A is very acceptable.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I wouldn't honestly want to see Vulcan ships change much in the eras. It's such a distinct art choice. Maybe add more rings and do more varieties of the pieces, but like, I feel like they wouldn't change the wheel much because they're Vulcans and they like the wheel.
Ah. Olivia Julius, $5. Peanut Hamper's scrap ship she put together.
Fair. Which I remember thinking the episode, because I scroll through these to find them. I remember thinking, oh wow, how long are we going to see this for? And it's in a scene, basically, in terms of in use. It's in a scene. But that's okay. That's fine. Do you remember this, Stuart? And if so, is it one of your top low deck ships?
I can't say as I do remember it, if I'm honest.
So this is after she was locked. She was in the... Because if you recall, the way we saw the episode was slightly fragmented. So she's in the debris field, and then goes around and builds this thing over the course of months, tries to use it, flies away, and then gets tractor beamed by the aliens, because I just rewatched the scene. So it's just a way of escaping the thing. But yeah, it does a warp drive unit from bloody spare parts, but from Pakled ships. So there's also spare parts around.
It's essentially a nacelle with a deflector slapped on the front of it. So,
but it's a TOS deflector, almost.
It is, yes.
So actually, I mean, credit to them. She doesn't need air, doesn't need life support, doesn't need gravity. I mean, it's not bad, is it?
No.
And it is a spaceship. It travels at warp. Oh my god, Dan just got his third super chat in 2 days. Thank you, Dan, for your third super chat in 2 days.
YouTube is broken for that, so I don't even bother registering that anymore.
I know, but it's because you made a point of it yesterday. So well done for your third super chat 2 days apart. Just stop YouTube.
This, because I hate Peanut Hamper so much, I want to put it at a D, and we didn't really see it very much, so...
You know what, I think this time should let your hate flow through you. I think I'll give you... Yeah. I like it though, but yes, it is a low tier ship. And that's okay.
Alright, next up. Matt Yarrington, $5. USS Titan, finally! We waited so long, and she was glorious. I only wish we had a whole show of the voyages of the Titan. Yes, another Enterprise coming in. Yeah, seeing the Luna class fully realized, canonized, was great. And,
no holds bar.
Yeah, and it looked really beautiful in that episode. There were some nice shots of it. They did a lot of good detail on it. And yeah, 100%. I wish that the Titan hadn't become the Constitution 3 class. As much as I like the design of that, it just seems... It's just the Titan legacy just gets shit on constantly. This ship just becomes the Constitution Class 3, and then that gets renamed to Enterprise G. Just like, come on, guys.
No, it's fine. It's in the contract of the Enterprise G that when that gets blown up, it'll become the Titan B. And the Enterprise will get decommissioned for a generation. So it's fine. They'll just keep swapping. Dude, to elongate the life of both ships, otherwise it'll be... Yeah.
And as I said yesterday with Riker, we get to see the interior, we get to see his ready room, we get to see the bridge, and that's really cool to see, honestly. We get to see the transporter room. Like, we get to see some interiors of this ship, which normally we don't get to see interiors of some of these designs. So. And
they are just Sovereign interiors tweaked.
But
you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
Fine. That makes sense, except Titan's older, so maybe it should have been more D/, but it's fine, it's fine. Now, the only problem with Titan is that it's the least good version of it that we've ever seen. In that, it's the only one we've ever seen, but having both... I've got both the Eagle Moss model physically, the CG version, and the original version of the book. They're all more correct than this version. This version has blue phaser strips for no reason.
Upgraded.
It has blinkies at the wrong side throughout. The hull is actually a blue, which they did with the Eagles version. It's reissued it as blue. There's no reason for that whatsoever. The registry is self-lit. It has its own, like, the actual letters
neon
are
lighting.
Exactly, which is incorrect as well. So loads of choices made to make it look stupid, in my opinion, over how it's meant to look. And having done films where I've done it, and having the books, like, it has a look, and they did it wrongly. And that was obviously a deliberate choice. Now, that said, the geometry is amazing, but the texture was so many bad choices were made that are confusing, that just make it look like a silly cartoon version. I don't know why. So much that they got to sell it as a separate version. And there's literally versions sold, so I'm confused by that. So it can't get an S because it's a inferior version than the versions we already saw, and they're not logical choices. So I'll happily say A because it still maintains... around that, but they made some really poor choices to bring it into real life. But at least it's accurate if you don't look at the texturing or the painting colours.
Yeah, I'm fine with an A for that one. Yeah, absolutely. For all the reasons you said. I was going to say S. It was great to see it, but, you know, it talked me down. Yeah, but it's still rocked out, and the scenes are amazing, the music's amazing, and yet, top tier, but they sabotage themselves for some reason as well. Perfect. All right, Solaris, the long hauler railfan, $2. What about
Thanks so much.
Starbase 80?
Uh-huh.
Starbase 80 was great. We heard about
Uh-huh.
Starbase 80 long before we saw it, and then we got a
Uh-huh.
whole episode dedicated to it, and the interiors being TOS.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it becomes one of the most important stations in all Starfleet at the end. So, I mean, hey, it's a cool design. It evokes a lot of the TOS vibes from the exterior. Even the font is kind of a motion picture era style font. It's a cobbled together, or not really cobbled together. It's a not upgraded Starbase, and it's unique. It doesn't look like Space Dock. It doesn't look like Regula. It's got some components that look similar, but as a whole, it's its own thing, and it's really great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's as with Cerritos, it's trying to look ugly is the wrong word. Not new or nice. But
That's the point, yeah.
But when it was designed and built, it was designed to look nice. So it's a huge caveat of, which is why using older themes works, because it's retro, having so much regular one in it. Even though it isn't regular one, but it feels like that. Makes you feel old, but not ugly. So I think they did a really good balance. It's giant. My God, it's giant. I mean, the Cerritos is already like Galaxy class height. But I mean, look at it. It's pillars, pylons, right? It's not real height, right? But it's still a giant craft. So whatever this was originally meant to do, it needed space. I mean, this dwarfs DS9. Frickin' dwarfs. I mean, that'd be a really actually fun comparison. It must be like, I guess, 5 DS9s, 4 DS, yeah, for 4 DS9s tall. But then, you know.
4 might be an exaggeration, but I would say 3.
Let's say 3 and change, because definitely.
Yeah.
3. But it's nice. I think we were both wonderfully whelmed with the outside.
Yeah.
And then the inside blew us away with the love letter to a lot of stuff. I mean, we are including interiors. That's sort of part of this, right?
Yeah.
So do we say A for the cleverness of the interiors? To tip it over?
Absolutely. I was thinking A for Starbase 80, yeah.
Yeah, which is just hilarious because it's the least hero possible.
Yep.
But I'm excited to, you know, if you were closer, Mr. Stuart Foley of Trekyards and Trek Shorts in the very near future, you know, this would be the sort of thing where we would take the future version of Captain Foley back to help with because he knows the tech, and you'd be like, what the hell? Why? I went the long way around, or the short way around. This went the long way around. It's still bloody TOS tech, you know. I used to punch those sorts of consoles when I was young. Why are they here? You know, I'm very eager to get a Starbase 30 80 and just use the TOS sets I've got. It'd be so fun because I've already got them. They're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So an A for Starbase 80.
Now, who agrees? Because that's a bold choice potentially. Who agrees?
And Matt Yarrington, $5. Ancient
Good to see you.
Generation ship. Very cool insectoid vibe. Would like to see more of this species and their ships. Yes. Insect vibe is absolutely correct. This was neat. Definitely interesting look. And I appreciate how unique it is, honestly. So I would love to see more of their ships, if I'm honest. So yeah, it wins on all fronts. I can't say that I remember the interior of this one.
Well, no, they tracted it. You only saw like a bug room where there was some pods, and they opened a pod and it went bad, and then the rest of it's tractoring it. So there wasn't really interiors, apart from like a space. So this to me, and I've always thought it, and these are all positive things I'm about to say. This feels like a big mothership of Red Dwarf, of Starbug, specifically.
Yes.
Like it's not Red Dwarf, but it's Starbug, and those two would be like right art design, and they must have like had that in their mind, because you can literally parallel pieces like lines to it. So in that regard, I think it's really good. We've talked about this recently. I can't remember what ship it was. I'm assuming it was the Blast Live, which was Pakled. This feels like a ship, but also a bug, but a ship first. So it does do the thing we criticised recently that it couldn't do. This does that really well.
Yeah.
So it's I really like it. It's not super Klingon, even though it's green, and you could say sort of the shoulder blades of the bird of prey. But it works really well. Lack of development, of course, but is that affecting the design and its style? Don't know.
No, it's great. And like, I love that you said Starbug, because I could definitely see Starbugs being the shuttles of this ship. Just fits beautifully.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
But it is obviously a super one-off, and we don't really get a sense of much else. Although just the scale of it, I mean, boy, the race to build that, because this is not like a Dederodex with negative space. This is all real ship, and this thing is big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely C or B, but I'm in between.
Well, I was thinking B.
Okay.
For bug ship, so it's a unique design. I would like to see a lot more of it because it looks good. It's very interesting.
Yeah, if we go on, I think it's fair. If we go on actual like pure design logic, this is one of the more standout original designs. Is great. So yeah, let's go B, because design's got to overweigh appearance, time, and it is. I mean, it is in a lot. It's just zoomed in, factor beam.
Cool. See, these are ones I would never have thought of for this live.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And Solaris, you can say it, but it's not a ship, so we won't get a high score. We'll let you change your answer if you'd like. There's a ship in the episode as well. If you'd like to change that, let us know.
Okay. Brett Dean, shout section big band, puts in $2 and says Obina class Excelsior variant. It is an Excelsior variant, yes. The USS Archimedes Obina class.
Well, I believe they said in our interview it's not an Excelsior class; it's Excelsior inspired. It's its own.
Yes. Yeah. It's clearly sovereign style in the cells. Bulkier body, beefier. Even the saucer's got more depth to it. And it's got a huge goddamn delta on it. So take that for what it's worth. I also like the strut design as opposed to the Excelsior, which goes out 90 degrees. This angled changes the look and vibe, but it's still a good looking ship. So yeah, I do really appreciate the Obina class, and would like to see more of them because it's cool.
It's odd that they just didn't bring these things back. I mean, they've money in the they could have saved by just bringing back the same hero models. No, okay. It was many years. Yeah, this one's a strange one in that this is one of the few ships that I would class as a truly cartoonified Starfleet ship. Yeah,
it's kind of got that chunkiness, that like over exaggeratedness of it.
Yeah, it's misproportioned and you can feel it. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look designed for the medium that Trek is normally in. Especially I remember looking at with you, the scale of the windows is entirely broken. The secondary hull already, you can see there's no windows. Like it is, someone had fun kit bashing parts or designing new parts quickly. Like it feels like someone had fun designing something cartoony. So it's an inferior Excelsior, but then is it looking through the lens of, the animated, or is it a weirdly designed ship? Because it is an Iron Stone. They did change it, which is interesting. We have yet to look at that, but it's different. So it's it is a big one. It's bigger than the Excelsior, I believe they said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it is.
But it is a lot in the episode. It is fully given time. They really commit to it. And I like Nolan, Obina. I like he got a ship. Cool for him. So, what do you think?
Okay, let's see. I think this one. I'm gonna give it an A. I think. Yeah.
I would have said a high B because I think everything in A is better. But if this is the lowest form of A, maybe. But I think everything in A is better by a decent margin.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm interested to see
B
if the one from the one from Star Trek Online is better or worse, because it's different. I don't know if it's better or worse. I'm intrigued.
B for Bina? Yeah. No, I think that's fine. Cool. All right. What's next?
I mean, there's some great options as well, guys. We are both doing famous ones and less famous ones, which is great.
Dan Ben, £2. The Orion Destroyer, the Retribution battleship.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There she is. No, not in a bad way. This makes me think of something else, and I can't nail it down.
Yeah,
I talked about it when we did the review on it. So,
well, that's not what we're thinking, but it doesn't like that stupid Discovery Klingon ship, which is just the.
No, yeah, that's not it at all. I'm thinking of something more along Babylon 5 kind of feel.
There is a Kazon ship that's similar, the big one. Yeah. Thoughts? Oh, did you remind the audience when the hell it showed up? Because you can blink and miss it. Because there's only one wide. The rest of it's
This is with the Orions.
Nope.
That episode, wasn't it?
Nope.
Oh, this is the end of. This is the Deep Space Nine episode.
Nope.
Okay, I don't know then.
This is the one with Locarno that they're given that barely works, and they crash into his space defense network because they have to blow up an entire insanely big ship to get through.
That's right. It's fine. I mean, it has the John Eves Orion color for his ship. Yeah, it's fine. It's huge.
I actually quite like it. It's kind of rocket ship while not being at all rocket ship. It's green, which always helps, and it is retro. I mean, I wouldn't want to face it, considering I believe there's a shot where they go up to the front and it's like insane. I believe there's a shot. Yeah, what a weird thing. This would definitely suck to warp neck. Yeah, it's kind of Star Destroyer like in that regard. It's like kind of epic scale. It's clearly been built for epic scale, right? Is it creative? But is it cohesive? Yes.
Yes. Let's see. What else is on the board here?
I would probably low-mid see it. I think it's cohesive but plain. But not boring, but plain. Distinction.
Well, I think if we put this at C, we need to bump up the Akira.
But that's only in that frame and a blur. Whereas this thing is in multiple shots, multiple ways. It blasts in. This has way more appearance. I'm
just trying to help out all the Akira lovers in the
Well, you know what will help them? A super chat to raise it. We have not the power.
I have all the power. I can do it right now if I wanted to. Okay, it's going to be there beside the Akira. I don't necessarily agree.
Wait, you have all the power?
The fuck? Yep. Uh-huh. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Cool.
Great option. Great suggestions, guys. Great suggestions. Keep them coming. Yeah, Crown Time Ship. Yeah. Close.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. Schmo Buddy, $5. Parliament class. It just screams post-Galaxy and Intrepid classes right before Gen 6. And those ample nacelles. Yeah, you know what? This is one that I really wish I would have got from Eagle Moss.
I did, and it was a bit too small. Nice, though.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit too small. Proportion-wise.
No. I love it. The fact they're all named after cities in Canada. Vancouver, the Manitoba.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not cities and provinces, but anyway, the Toronto. Yeah, it's a really nice, sleek design, and it definitely kind of feels like it's related to the Enterprise F as well, with the way that secondary the deflector thing is held on by the two it kind of ties in visually to the two necks of the Enterprise F. Not the biggest fan of the nacelle choice design, but again, I like something new and interesting to look at, and those definitely are. So, but those struts, just the sleek and sexy curves of this thing, we see them a few times, and they get referenced quite a few times as well. So
yeah, super underused. I mean, I think they're only in 3, which seems shocking, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, at least mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, constantly mentioned, yeah.
Like, yeah. This is one they definitely hung their hat on, and I really kind of appreciate that. This was definitely a cool, like you said, a new like design. It feels right in line with Starfleet's design progression. So, yeah, beautiful ship.
Yeah, this one is. It's not quite how I'm going to say it, but it's another missed opportunity ship in that it should have been seen more as kind of the big brother, but they never wanted to give. Well, that might have felt redundant, like always using it. So fair enough, but it's they don't want to underserve the Cerritos itself. But this is one of the probably the only other ship that we ever see that is the Cerritos style fleet, meaning low end fleet. This is just a high end class of a low end fleet, because it is clearly paralleling a lot of the same things, right? It's not trying to be an Excelsior and Akira. It is, and the thing that annoys me about this ship is that the MSD is just the Cerritos MSD with some cloned bits. So there's a combination of wow, a new design, but also you lazy fuckers. There's both at the same time for this, so it was never fully realised, and it was a bit too redundant in that regard. But it is nice. It's simple, but simple works. It's missing a detail pass, and I know for Star Trek Online they did do a higher detail pass. I've never checked it out properly, but it is kind of begging for those things. So it would be nice to see this one given more details. It definitely has that cartoonified feel to the detail level, but the design's more cohesive than going silly. Yeah.
For me, this is an easy S tier, just because of its new design aesthetic. I like it.
Let me look at some more renders. Because I was thinking A, because it's not as detailed as it should be. Yeah, because I'm looking at the Stowe versions. There's already loads more details, like phaser strips. Those are important.
38 people here, 37 likes. Get those likes up to 40, guys. Hit that like button if you're just joining us or haven't hit like yet. Also, go vote on the poll. We have 33 votes. So,
and vote now, guys. Vote now. But this is not necessarily a change my opinion. But let us know what you guys think score-wise. I'm going to throw the Star Trek Online model in the thing so you can see how their interpretation, what I mean about it's missing stuff, and this one isn't missing stuff.
It's a new design from Lower Decks. They didn't have to do this.
But doesn't this look a lot better?
Well, yes. But I'm judging it on that. It's a cool new starship that I would love to be flying around in. So it's an S for me, still.
Yeah, I'm going to vote A, which leaves up to the audience. Who are you with?
Guys can vote S or A in the chat, and if you want to lock it in at something, you can super chat in and lock it in whichever position you guys want with the first super chat. So
I can agree with either point, but I have my reasons.
I can agree with either point as well, but I also have my reasons. It should be an S.
Hence the audience. It's a
fantastic new design.
I don't know. I know it was in the final episode, which is awesome, but I wish it was used once or twice more. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 34 votes on the poll now. We're up to 41 likes, which is great, guys. Keep it going. If you can get us up to 50, that's even better. Threefold path, £5. Can we use a super chat to bump to S?
Yes. That's the point.
Yes. Well, to lock it in at S. You're not bumping it anywhere because it was never fully decided. You can bump things up a tier or move them down a tier with a $5 super chat as well. So.
And if you'd like to support us in that, we support you supporting us. Also, I guess point out, I love the fact that when I Google a ship, our video is always there.
Yep. That's what we do. Ships. All right.
Yeah, what do people think?
Yeah, we got a few S's. Nobody said A yet, so you lose. All right.
Fair enough.
Solaris, the long hauler railfan, $5. What about the device that was used for the Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks crossover? Like the portal on the planet?
And then we had this conversation, and then he came around and we had said the Orion ship. Why the Orion ship is there?
Yes. So, the Orion ship from Strange New Worlds.
Which is funny because it's not a low deck ship, but it is. It's a low crossover episode. I just realised the logic of that.
Yes, and we see one of these, a ship similar to this in Lower Decks.
I guess a display, a pic.
No, with
Oh, yeah.
First of this season.
Yeah.
No, this is cool because it ties into the Orion ship we see in the animated, or not the animated, it's TOS, Journey to Babel, and it's a very unique design, very 60s inspired for sure. Got spinning elements, and it's not a battleship, it's not a pirate ship, it's a science vessel. Orions have science vessels, don't you know? Because they're not all pirates. Yeah, I like it. I like its uniqueness. It definitely still maintains that nostalgic 60s vibe, like design-wise. So I have to say I like it.
Yeah, it's one of those. All credit to a successful visual update that keeps the old, adds a lot more detail, but this is a very, very good, faithful update. I mean, it's not identical, but it wouldn't be. So you also allow that for that caveat. It's a different version. Having the double ring, having the see-through things. Yeah, it's really fun. Does the scale make sense with the windows? Maybe not, but big windows, small windows. Don't know.
See you later, Raj. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's a very solid. Is it the best ship ever? No. But it's a very high metric.
Yeah, for me, I want to put it at C, personally.
Ooh. See, I would have said B because I think it's more successful than the Orion and the Akira. And it is a new design that's successful. And you got to give it that credit because it's of all the Discovery Strange World ships, it's like they did the thing that works, you know? Like they're trying. It's like if you saw a Gorn ship, it's not going to look like the Gorn ships in... Oh, no, they don't. Like, there you go, great comparison, right? At least this one looked like what it's meant to look like. So all credit to them.
Fine,
I forgot we saw Gorn ships and they were not Gorn ships. I don't know what they were, Stuart.
What is a Gorn ship? Because there's so many different Gorn ships over the years.
Oh, well, the one from Canon and then the other one's from Canon.
The one from Canon is just a light bulb.
The other camera.
Remastered is... It's fine.
It always just fine, but, you know, it's there.
Dan Ben, £2, USS Cerritos, Captain's Yachts.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, we do see the Captain's Yachts.
Just didn't make it over. Hold on.
Yeah.
Which was teased for a while.
Which I don't really think the Cerritos necessarily would have a Captain's Yacht. We had that discussion too. But...
Yes. Why would it? Is the question.
For second contact ceremonies. Yeah.
It has 3 shuttle bays. It has enough shuttles.
It's true. Yeah, I always thought Captain's Yacht was more for the more prestigious ships for sure, but anyway, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, definitely has vibes of the not the Calypso. Is it the Calypso?
I think it's Calypso.
Yeah, the Enterprise D is the Cousteau. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different enough to be its own unique thing. I don't think also an older ship like the Cerritos would have one this new styled, especially if it was built in. It wasn't built into the hull design for the Cerritos. This was more of a docked ship, so it's fine, I guess.
Well, yeah, she just requisitioned a better looking one as they came about. If it just goes in a bay, there's no reason they can't just change the bay a little bit.
Yeah, and it was cool to see it. It feels like a captain's yacht. And I like the way the nacelles are configured. I don't know if they move. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's a combination of lazy and just works, because it is just the one from EE, but they've taken out the pylons. But it does change the feel quite substantially, which is kind of crazy how much it changes the feel. But it's a pretty detailed model for, like, if you're going to build it to that level, why not change more than nothing?
Yeah.
Which implies they grabbed a model from Eaglemoss, which is absolutely fine. But then it's in a free model that you can convert in a day or two. 3, if you really want to do it nicely. Yeah, it would be nice to have a bit more difference. Because they could have. Even a Cerritos style nacelle, I mean, I wouldn't have been at all bummed if they just grabbed... Because then it's like the shuttle for the Titan is just a 3 shuttle with Titan nacelles. Okay, fine. So if this had just been this with Cerritos nacelles or even Titan nacelles, it would have been more logical. So this is where the creativity definitely bombs a bit. But it's a fine design, but it's not a design for Lower Decks. It's designed for Star Trek Insurrection. But the interior, a lot of interiors, we get to see more of, we get to feel more of it than they do in the movie, which you get to see the ramp and then the bridge, and neither of which are properly like connected or whatever. I mean, C at best. But what do you think?
I was thinking C as well.
Because it does do more than the Akira. But the Akira looks nicer. But the interiors, no, it's got to be a C, doesn't it? It does too many things to not be.
Yeah.
But it would have been funner had it been either the Voyager era shuttle or the one from the Nova, because then both would be very unrecognisable. So therefore fans might assume there's a new version. And given that fans have made versions of both, and obviously the team made the one from Voyager. Right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sergeant Montgomery, Mako, $2. Dimensional ring ship, XVC-330 fanboy here. Yes, the quantum reality ring ship.
Beagle.
Yes, quantum reality drive. We like this because you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to go there with the design, but they did. And again, that's Lower Decks. They really know what we like, and it's got enough differences from the Enterprise ring ship. So happy with that. Love that we saw it landed. I mean, there's a lot of really cool details with it. So stuff they didn't have to do, but I like the landing sequence. That's cool. Split the ring. But yeah.
Yeah, there's benefits of actually being a hero ship. So that you had to and wanted to give it the full thought throughness. I mean, the landing approach alone is gonna bump it by a full point, because that was so well done and unnecessary. Didn't have to land on a planet. No one would think they would have to, or they necessarily should. Yes, it's simple, but also it's a lot of Greeblies and Gubbins on top of the simple. As we'd worked out with our review, you think it's the same, but the rings are thin and simple. Oh wait, they're meant to be big and thick. Yeah, not on this one. So it's actually really different, but also feels identical. Yeah, really effective. And the bridge of the NX-01 kind of somehow, for some reason.
Yes. For me, I want to give this one an A. just for the fact that they used the ring ship and they made it different enough.
So I'm between an A or an S, because I think the landing is a canon making. Now it's this version in particular, but a canon making moment. The fact that we've got NX Bridge is super unique. Lily, as cool as that is back, and a new concept of the Federation, although they don't give us how she's traveling in space, because alternate universes does not equal traveling through space. And if you can do both, then you should say it, because that changes. Or if you do it, then you have a warp drive as well, basically. If you don't, then your device is basically a TARDIS. You can then travel anywhere, because it's also going through time, because they don't explain what it can do properly. So I think go for A, because there's too many questions. But I think cleverness, simpleness, effectiveness is touching S, but yeah, probably A is more fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it didn't land, a B, but land, like I say, instantly made it at least an A.
We're a sucker for landing. The Anaximander, I mean, seeing a Defiant class with landing legs, that was cool too.
Let's
So
put that in. That's right there.
that would get bonus points for the landing, absolutely. All right, well, let's see, put that there. Okay, good. Next. Threefold Path, 5 pounds. Thank you so much. Perhaps a little too boring, but the Miranda class from Season 2, Episode 1 was a beautiful way to hook us into a season. Yeah. Wouldn't say it's too boring at all. Miranda is such a unique, interesting style, and to see it upgraded with glowing nacelle elements, and the bridge was on point as well. Also, well, it maintains the red striping of the Reliant, which I like. I do like that. I wish it was on the Enterprise as well. Originally it was going to be, but no, this is beautiful.
And Stuart, there's a new goal. If you want to read that.
Oh shit, we should have. I forgot to set that up earlier. God damn it. Anyway, yes, 10 $5 super chats in the next 30 minutes.
And what's the achievement if we do it?
That section 31 will be good, which means we're not going to hit that goal. So
if you want to help the cosmic universe make Lodex they're all good, help us out with 10 more suggestions. Yeah, Miranda. I mean, hey, it's a Miranda. No ifs, no buts, but finally got Basards. We've got to see how Basards look. A first.
Yep.
I mean, they're a little bit odd, but yeah. I mean, of course, it's a fictitious Miranda in a holodeck, but that's neither here nor there. No, it looks nice. Windows aren't all on. Nice detail. Nice extra detail. It is a simplified Miranda, as in it's not high polygon, which means it's custom, which means they did the Aztec in custom, which means it's high detail for them. Because this is not cartoon, it's right there. Not sure what the red things are either side of the impulse crystal. Not sure what they would be. But so they don't quite work quite as well, but that's okay. Obviously, the big issue is that once again they got blinkies wrong, and
yes.
It's like it's like you're watching the show that it's in as reference, and there are blinkies. You look at every social show that blinkies, like, how do they keep getting wrong for years? We told them in season 1, and all you need to do is have on the email server when a new artist comes in to build a new ship, you have a little note document saying, here are the 9 things you need to know. There are grills in the engines that are blue, warp drive. There are red things at the front, Basards, they're red. And on the left hand side it's whatever colour, right hand middle is white. It's not difficult, and they did, and this feels like intentionally just doing it wrong for the sake of pissing people off, because there's no reason to explain this, and it's just wrong and it's done. Don't have them on then. Just don't have them on. Don't have them on.
It ain't warp field theory, folks.
Yeah. And it does devalue every time we see a big ship, because it's the easiest thing, which is in the surface, you make that glowing element a different colour. That's it. That's all it is. So I point down for that, because it's a mistake they're either deliberately making because they're silly, or not catching because they're rushed. But it's the first episode that most hard to fix it. Blah blah. That's on them. But the bridge looked great.
The bridge was fantastic. We were so happy to see that. I really enjoyed that, and made me geek out hardcore. So,
well, that was the close to fan service the show gets. But if it could be anything, why not be something fun?
Yeah.
Right, have fun with that.
Holodeck ship. So I want to put it at A, but I'm not going to. I think B is probably the best slot for it.
Yeah, it's between Obina and Titan. It's more accurate than Titan, but it's not in it as much. It's not as silly as Obina, but it's more faithfully proportioned. So yeah, it's either high B or low A. So I'm happy with a B, but it is. And if Blinky's it, well, Blinky's in one more scene, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the main not holodeck universe, because you could have, you know, existed. You could have just no, okay.
Yep. Threefold path again with £5. Can we use a super chat to bump to S?
Yes.
That was the one that locked in the Parliament. $25 Aero Shuttle. It's finally got screen time. There was an Aero Shuttle and more decks.
Oh, he means huh. I just remembered. Yeah, I thought you meant although if you Google it, nothing comes up. But I do know where that was.
Okay.
I thought you meant the Aero. I thought you meant the other one we just looked at. Hold
on. We have 47 likes. Let's try to get 3 more to get to 50. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And go vote on the poll. The poll again is favorite new design from Lord X, California class, Parliament class, and Texas class. Right now, California class and Parliament class are tied for 43%. The Parliament class was out in the lead for a while. So if you haven't voted, go vote on the poll. No love for the Texas class, I see. Fully automated ship, so I get it, but it's a cool design still. For me, I'd be voting Parliament class personally. And we will get that up for you in a second here.
Oh, it's not where I thought it was. Must be in a separate shot of the station. Because it's a background ship that they threw in around a space station is what I remembered. Must be in a close-up? No, not in that shot. I couldn't Google it, which is always exciting.
We will get there for you guys, don't worry.
Nope, there's none of those shots. I'll go to Trekyards then and see what they say.
They don't know nothing.
So now scrolling back to our own content about Lodex, that's because we focused on it. Doesn't mean the internet cared. Okay, let's have a look. There's Texas. There's the Section 31 Defiance, the original version. Oh, I forgot about you.
Yeah, a little bit different, that one.
A regular one. God, it literally is, I can just use my own thumbnails because I've done all the work. You've got Paragon Fighter, you got the Akira, you've got Obina, you've got a Runabout, that was a bit different. The Starfleet Hover Cycle.
Yeah.
That we did content on. We actually did.
I don't even know it's cool. That TOS elements.
Yeah, it's before Discovery, before the Nova class, the Oberth class. But Prey. There we go. With the tile arrow shutters now cannon now. Okay, so it was. How do I save that as a picture? Can I save that as a picture?
You can, yes.
I didn't want me to.
Should be an option to download them now.
Oh, I found it on the public thing. I didn't go. I'm wearing my hoodie.
Dan Ben says the ex-Astro Scientifica website also has all the ships in the show listed. Also,
okay, I'm gonna.
Don't worry, Schmo buddy. You didn't break the show. Just Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Screen capping your own video and your own render, because that's.
How's that feel, Sam?
Yeah. I do remember making it, so. And there we go. That's the air shuttle's canonical appearance.
Oh, indeed. Yes. Well, I mean, let's canonize the Aero Shuttle finally. Cannot complain about that. You're right. Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yeah. Top marks for that, honestly. It's exactly how it should look. I wish it would have been used in Voyager, but...
I mean, that's obviously my render, though. You took out the... how we saw it in the shows, so...
Oh, whatever. I picked the best one.
Well, yeah, it's my render
Fine.
of it, but okay.
Oh, well, then I will change it.
I mean,
it's...
yeah, because that's not how it looks.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
No, I know it is. That's how it is in the show.
Oh my god.
Don't want to confuse the audience, Stuart. Just think there's a really clear shot of the air shuttle, because there isn't.
Well, it's not as good a shot, so I didn't want to use it. All right, well, we'll lock onto that one then. Sorry, guys, you're going to be treated to a blurry mess.
As Lower Decks intended. Okay, what is... I don't remember the name of these people.
Goddamn people and their names.
Hesperia, that's what it is.
There you go. That's it.
So what do you think of seeing Lower Decks, the air shuttle?
Yeah, it's going to be a D. Because it's not great.
Yeah, I'm happy to vote F on this because...
I was thinking that.
Because no one noticed until I pointed it out and did renders to prove it. Why is there an impulse glow that's like super glowy? And I couldn't even Google it. I had to go find my own render. So I think it has to go F. As much as we love you guys, you built a goddamn shitty model of it. Put it goddamn close to goddamn camera, you goddamn people.
There's a better view to show that it is the Aero Shuttle, I guess. But yeah, that's... Okay, that's F quality.
Yeah. Not bad. We have
love,
two versions.
I just love that they actually canonized it finally. So.
And it's great because like an artist, a good modeler, could build that in an hour. It's a basic shape, right? And it's such a nice way of like showing some cool stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, not a band account, $5. Parliament class down to A tier. Oh, just a sovereign style Miranda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we got to put the whole arrow thing on there for that's been bumped down because I really think it deserves better than that. But hey. There you go. It's been bumped down by a super chat. Therefore, there's an arrow on it indicating that, so we don't get in trouble when people tune in and go, "What the fuck were you thinking?"
We weren't. They were. And guys, remember, there's still the Sovereign that showed up, the Defiant, two Defiants that showed up, the Hood showed up. Actually, I think the one time the actual Hood showed up, Excelsior, Texas, Voyager.
Locarno's ship. There's a lot of really cool designs.
Whatever. Yeah, Locarno's Steam Runner and his Delta Squad ship thing. The bloody Binar ship. That cool. There's lots of ships, guys. But I mean, famous ones. If you want to throw famous ones in, there are a few.
You have been instructed on what to do, my friends. So do it. Yeah. Do it. All right. Next up, we've got Brett Dean. The Purple D. The Purple Prize.
Mm-hmm.
An intriguing concept, to say the least. Why is it purple? Because that was an option, that's why. Yeah, I mean, it looked great. And to see the Enterprise, I wish it would have had a little more screen time and a little more presence, but we did get some really good shots of it on the screen, going through the anomaly, so cannot complain. Great to see Galaxy Class at any time, and specifically the Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go straight into a C on this to mirror the Akira, because it's in about as much, but it's in two shots, but they're blurrier, than the Akira, but it isn't too. I love the creativity of the purple. We noticed a few very small things that I can't remember now necessarily, but do go watch it. We learned as we went. We found some things. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Lower Decks is such a fan favorite, fan loved, as in the team, right? And the fact that we're adding constant legacy players back into this chart shows how much effort they put in to show everything, right? Well done. But they and there's War of the Galaxy, that one episode at the end for 102 frames or something. So the caddy version.
Yeah. Threefold Path, £5. Season 2, Episode 7, Philip's Mother's Ship. Oh yes, the fantastical fantasy type ship. Got Buck Rogers style rings around the nacelle. It's definitely extravagant, as per Philip's family being royalty. And, I like the little filigrees and the fanciness that's on the hull. It looks pretty interesting and elaborate. And the dual nacelles on each side, even though they're not really dual nacelles. Anyway, it's a good look. And this reminds me that it could be part of the same fleet as the Galaxy Express ship from Futurama. It's got that same hull shape and color. So, yeah, I like it. It's invoking that 1950s retro style. So.
If they're very meta, they should have had the guy that plays Professor as the engineering officer of the ship. Good news, everybody! The dragon's been fed!
Yes.
Thanks, Professor.
The Dragon Drive, whatever it was called.
Yeah, this is one where it's not my personal preference, but I see why it's great, but I don't love it for various reasons, but I get it, and it's nice, but I don't love it, and that's okay. Right? Because you can't love everything. Can't hear you. Thanks, Johnny.
I said it's better than Mud's father-in-law's ship from Discovery.
Oh, yes.
The same kind of vibe, right? So.
I mean, we talk about interiors sometimes. A lot of interiors, a lot of cool creativity, a ballroom, etc. So I guess in that regard, that should bump up a list a little bit.
Well, it's a royalty ship. It's supposed to be extravagant, right? For me,
that's tricky.
I'm kind of struggling with the low B.
Yeah, because it beats everything in C almost definitionally.
Yeah.
But it's not amazing. But we've got other stuff because we know it should be higher. So I think low B is fair because I think it does a lot of things, just none that we love necessarily, but a lot of things, and they're all pretty good. Yeah.
Interesting.
See, we learned here on Trekyards.
Not a band account, $5. Aha! You and Janeway now must make Pakled A tier. Now you have to praise big new Pakled ship. We fought 2 enterprises and survived. We are smart. So using your $5 to move the Pakled ship to A tier?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No. The other Pakleds.
Oh.
You fell into his trap.
Alright, we'll move those ones up to A tier. Dun, dun, dun.
Cool.
Look at Sam outsmarting you.
Even with a barely functioning voice.
So I gotta do the arrow thing.
And that is 3 for the price of 1 because it's 3 designs.
Yeah, so there you go. That's bumped up. Wow.
Fun stuff.
Sergeant Montgomery, Mako, $2. Bad Admiral's badass little Texas class. Captain or Admiral Buen Amigo.
Buen Amigo. Texas, yes.
Boom.
Wish it been in more?
Yeah. It's a cool design. It invokes kind of the Nova class feel just because that cutout in the front and a few different things. It's small, it's compact, it's a fully automated ship. Interesting idea. It's kind of like a drone, essentially.
They never go bad. They never go bad, do they?
No. I'm running in packs.
That never goes bad, does it?
No. NA01, which stands for automated. It's a cool little design. Kind of reminds me of one of the small Orion ships in Starfleet battles that I have the miniatures for. I can't remember the class name, but it's got that same kind of vibe to it. So, where does it fit in the pantheon?
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where it's a new design. There ain't no kit bash. There ain't no. It is absolutely original. It's super stylized and specialized, which gives you a lot of carte blanche. The nacelles are new. The weapons are new. Is it the most detailed? No. And again, Star Trek Online made a detailed version, which is brutal, but it's detailed, right? Makes sense. But it's it's like it's kind of like the Defiant, but without the detail part of being a hero ship, right? Small, different yet the same, creative yet in the box is Trek design. Yeah, it's I mean, you talk about this a lot, so I'm more inclined to go with your metric because it's good. I don't love it or anything, but it's good.
Yeah, for me, it's an easy B. Easy B. If it was an actual starship, I might like it a little more, but considering it's just a smaller automated kind of design, yeah.
Damn powerful, though.
Yeah, and I like this. Well, it can be because I don't have to worry about life support or any of that stuff, right?
The 4 M4s. I think B is I think it's definitely a strong B. But I look at stuff in A that just has a little bit extra. Yeah, it's hard to express what this is missing. I guess the RCS thrusters and... Although, look, the blinkies are correct.
Yay!
Fucking got there.
Threefold Path says, I was not a fan of all the red glowy stuff. Well, red glowy stuff means evil. That's Starship Representation 101.
I mean, it also reminds me of Knight Rider. I'll be honest, that was kind of what I thought. But yes,
maybe.
Less... Because glows are very specific in Trek and overused... yeah. Yeah. But it would be an interesting re-review for the Star Trek Online model. That would be interesting to see how we would judge the more fleshed out version.
Yeah.
I do like me some RCS thrusters.
They're really important.
They fly now. Did you make it fly? I'm just going to be back in a minute. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. 49 likes. We're 1 like away from 50. And if you're new, if you're just joining us, by all means, vote in the poll. We have 48 votes, which is fantastic. We'd like to get to 50, ideally, to end that out. But, yeah, if you haven't voted, please do so. And let us know your thoughts. I'll wait for Sam to get back before we... you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it. Dan Ben, 2 pounds. Starbase 80, Type 15 shuttle. Episode Trusted Sources. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. Here it is compared to an actual one. You got all the same shapes. You got all the same things going on, but yet not. It's got a different feel to it. The window's different. The front's different. But it's a Type 15 shuttle. They're kind of crap. Let's be honest. They are shuttle pods, not shuttles.
Yeah, I want to highlight the comparison because the thing does change for different views, but when you compare, it actually is different. Oh my god, yeah. Dan, it's your third super chat ever. Congratulations.
Again.
Well done, Dan. So I just want to highlight the issue with the shells. It does change every view. So in this one view, there's lots of changes, but you know, I like the changes because they're all intentional. Although this version, this time me seeing it, I do think more because now we know Starbase 80, right? This now reads more TOS to me.
A little bit, yeah.
Like the way that front looks, it's almost a Type F.
the proportions are different for sure. So yeah.
But it's vibing that, not the TNG one. If you're
Yeah.
looking at them side by side, I like that. Now we know, but now we know. They could have done a few more. But it's a fully warp capable version, as in more of a shuttle, as in it's a more distinct version. Not going to be sending the smallest ones across because the TNG ones are pretty small.
Indeed. I think 3 people in there would be rather crammed. We saw the inside of these in TNG, and there's 2 seats.
But that's why I think that's why they changed the view of the front, because if they did it logically, you couldn't accommodate. So I think it's a slightly bigger one, which is fine. Yeah. I mean, I like they changed it a bit. I mean, and it's dirty as all hell. Does it get points for
Starbase 80?
Starbase 80? What do you think? Because it's not interesting, but it is different. They did put effort into changing it.
It's a C.
Okay. Yeah, I think if I was them,
Choices were made.
if I was them, I would have made at least the warp grills glow blue, so we can finally see a canon version with the warp glows.
Yeah.
Small thing, but just to make sure that, you know, to know, oh, it's 2nd gen. We improved it. We diversified. You know, we made it a bit more advanced. It's fine not to, but that would have been nice.
Yes. And we have 50 likes. Thank you guys. 52 right now. 49 votes. Can we get one more vote to make it to 50?
And how is our thing going? The
Parliament class is back in the lead, barely. So yeah, if you want to be the last voter to make it 50 and vote for the Cali class, you could probably tie it up again.
Yes. And not just that, how is our goal? Oh, 3 minutes 28 left to get 8 more.
Yeah, not happening.
Well, unless some magic person comes in with that many. But if they're going to. But that's okay.
Section 31 is going to be bad. You guys determined it. You fucked it up for everybody.
For everybody. Yeah. I had forgotten I was doing that. So well done. You've summarised the truth. Oops.
Yep. Doesn't matter that the ship's dirty. It's the scene that makes you like the ship. True. Okay, well, just under half an hour left, guys. So let's throw some in. Be awesome.
Under half an hour? Oh yeah, under half an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a brain there. But I got one ship in the buffer, as you can see. Bring it in, because it's a new one. It is the Giant Bird Peanut Hamper People Race Battleship Warship big version,
yeah.
which is very, and this is the Starship 9 version, of course, very, very sonar vibing, but not literally. And this thing is powerful, at least conceptually.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Looks like a futuristic bladed weapon. Something out of Halo.
Yeah.
It definitely has sonar vibes for sure, yes. And it's sleek. It looks cool. It feels more like a fighter to me than a larger ship. I think just lack of windows does that. I can't remember how big they are necessarily. I know there's like a hangar full of them.
Yeah, this is the giant one that comes out of the. Pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
I mean, it's aight.
It's aight.
Bird people ship.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's a pretty nice design, but obviously not fleshed out. But it's nice to see new things. As in, it worked absolutely fine. I'd say a gentle C on this. It does have a cool weapon mode, which we saw, where it charged up and whatnot. Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm perfectly happy with this C.
I'm about to tease you with one before hopefully some people will jump in with their suggestions to ensure they get in on this lineup. We've got the version 1, Section 31 Defiant. The one we saw for a single scene, which we now know what the ship is.
Well, do we though? It could just be a different.
True.
This is different than the Defiant class.
Very true.
It looks different than the Anaximander. It has a different vibe. It has different shapes. It has. We speculate at the time it's Section 31 revamped version. Doesn't quite do it for me. It doesn't look as good as the Defiant or the Anaximander. Yeah. It's a little too pointy at the side. Just saying.
I think we as Trek fans are super lucky with all of our hero ships, except the Jade Prize, look good. And they work. You know, we're very, very lucky with that. You know, not every Star Wars ship just works. There's so much variation. So you take the Defiant, and you change a bit too much, and it looks less good. It looks like it's almost like flapping its wings, right? It doesn't quite. Yes, of course, the flat detailing doesn't help. There's no greeblies at all. Everything's just flat painted. It feels like a cartoon, as if someone drew this. So it doesn't really, whatever, in the same way. If you recall from the other version of the Defiant, the pulse phases were glowing red, so same here. So they maintained that. So they're still not pulse phases, because of course they're not. That's not how that works. They did lose a blue. I believe they didn't have blue. Or did they have blue Bassards? Maybe they did have blue Bassards in the current version, because they weren't doing warp.
It's missing the little blue circles at the back as well on the top.
I know it is, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's quite a bit different than a standard Defiant class. So
Well, actually, they might be there but not lit. I think they're probably there but not lit. I remember the impulse engines were weird. They had just a single slit. There's like the back, all the pods were weird. Yeah, I think this is definitely an inferior version of what we've seen. So how does that flare in? And it's not going to get the credit of being the other one, because we can't assume until we know. So I'm not going to say, way, because of that. What are you thinking?
let's see.
Because I have an unfortunate number in my head.
I want to put it at D personally.
I was also thinking D, yes. It's an inferior version of the Defiant, and it doesn't pop. And that's unfortunate. Darn.
I'm glad this version wasn't used for the final.
I mean, you could have improved it. You could have, you know, if you did detail up but yeah, more of an uphill battle. Yeah. But I like that this thing is they changed the nacelle configuration every mission. So some for war mode, some for this is for special cloaking, and then the other one's for the going through dimensions. Could be interesting.
All right. Threefold Path throws in £5. The single nacelled Cerritos, just for those single nacelle lovers. The Freedom class.
And there are many. That is
what, single nacelled lovers?
Yes. Come on, you.
Come on, you. Stop being sketchy.
There you go.
Yes, indeed. That's a really awful picture of it. Doesn't give you the full scope of how the cell's connected, but that's okay. Yes, the Freedom class. I was happy to see this for sure.
That's a different one. I mean, there you go. That's it. It's fine. Whichever you'd like.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll go with that one. Yeah, the Freedom class. I really like this one. I like the way the nacelle is connected, and the MSD was fantastic. Lower Decks is really good with their MSDs, honestly. So, but yeah, it's Cerritos, just single nacelled, honestly. Not much to glean from it. It was cool. I prefer 3 nacelles, personally, to 1. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the sum of its parts, which is less parts. Yeah, it's a fun idea. You can see, I mean, no one said Cerritos Season 5, but as you can see from this, using the same saucer, the blink is now all green, all red, which is a much better version, because at least it's consistent to the overall design. So, you can see what they did. They shifted them all to the same style. Although no white, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Nothing to write home about. Nothing particularly interesting. Looks nice. Works well. But boring in a logical way.
Fair.
Yeah. So I'd say, I mean, C, just because we've had in B, they're all original designs. And actually, if that's funny enough, C is a lot of not original designs. So I think a pleasant C, but yeah, it's not. If it had a new nacelle, right? All it would have taken to raise it up, a brand new design nacelle. And if it had a stupid looking nacelle, which was like 2 nacelles stuck together, but like half in each other, so it was like, how does it work? Well, it's 2 warp cores that like, you know, like they could have made a joke about that as well, but it would have confused fans. No, it should have worked.
Yeah. It was cool to see, though, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
How does this single nacelle ship even go to warp? Well, it's actually pretty easy. Loved that. That was like talking to Trekyards.
And we thank you for your service.
All right. Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Division 14 Ostler.
Which
medical ship.
Yes. Boy, a different era of Lower Decks when they were doing weirder things. And like, is this a cartoon ship, Starfleet? Or is this meant to be a Starfleet? What am I thinking here? Don't know. But now in retrospect, yeah, they know what they're doing.
It just feels like something out of like... It almost feels like it could be Skeletor's ship if Skeletor had space travel. It's got a weird kind of gothic vibe to it.
That's the word, yep.
Gothic, Tron-y look.
Tronya or Tronny?
Tron-y. Tron, lights everywhere. And that big spire, it's an odd choice for sure.
Well, I'm guessing that opens up the portals. Because this flies to a vortex, which it generates, I guess.
Yeah.
Never mentioned again.
Honestly, gives off like futuristic Section 31 vibes, if I'm honest. Just the color and the angular nature of a lot of the parts on it. Starfleet Batmobile, yeah, pretty much.
Well, they were trying to narratively say they were evil, and I mean, that's all implied, right? It's just the fact that it wasn't is what's fun about it. I mean, good nacelles. I mean, nothing negative about them.
Yeah, it's got a haunted house vibe as well. And then the lightning and the vortex, and then the guy who's kind of creepy and like hunchbacky. Yeah, it's not a great ship. Section 3, or sorry. I was gonna say STO hasn't made this, have they?
I thought they did, but I can't find evidence of it. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I thought they did, but yeah, this one's tricky because this would factor into the camp of if you took away the blue and red glows, you wouldn't guess it was a Star Trek ship because it's too dissimilar. It doesn't capture enough of the vibe.
Yes,
but it's doing something specific and weird. And it does have nacelles, and they are one of them nacelles that makes sense. It's fine. So it's a strange one where it's a specialist medical ship. Why would that look normal? I mean, the bloody Pasteur, right? Ball. It's a ball. Why is there a ball? But it's definitely cartoony looking. If every Starfleet ship in this looked like this, we'd be worried.
Yeah.
But it was here to tell a story, and it told it quite well. Is it good design? I don't know. Do I like it? Yes?
I'm not the biggest fan of it, personally.
But it's achieving its goal.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
So I think fair to say it's not getting a B.
No. I don't even think it's seaworthy.
Yeah.
Which leaves...
The D feels mean, but it could just be the tipping of the D. Yeah, okay.
It's... Yeah.
It wouldn't take much to make it a C, but it would take something.
Yeah. Let me just look at the stuff in C. It's got that smooth... Well, most... For the Starfleet ships, anyway, they have that smooth Starfleet appearance. And... I mean, the other two, the Akira and the Galaxy class, would have been higher if they had more screen time. Yeah, I don't know, yeah. Give it the D. The tip of the D. Yeah, exactly, General Grievous, yes.
That is very fair. But Stuart, do you want to end out your polls? We hope for our final... Can someone put in one more? And in fact, it's so close to a goal. 2 more. We actually hit our Super Chat goal, which would be tremendous. You know, you could look at the Cerritos final version. You could look at the...
Ooh, Petra's ship.
Yes.
The old ship was cool.
Borg Cube. That was in it once. I mean, yeah, there's 2 more we could have right in the last few minutes. That'd be great. But see if you want to finish the poll and end out the results. Let's see what people said.
So with 53 votes, which is great, favorite new design from Lower Decks, the Parliament class wins it with 47%. Trailed very closely by the California class, 42%. And the Texas class only gets 11%.
Wowza. It's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Oh, yeah, there's the warship Bird of Prey from the last episode. That would be high.
Yeah, that's a cool ship.
Oh.
Or the Discovery Bird of Prey from the last episode.
That would be high on this list.
General Grievous throws in $2. The Sovereign Cerritos. The Sovereign class with Cerritos nacelles. Yes.
There's that view or this view. You can pick which you want us to use. Which one's best, do you think, for this?
That's a good question. They're both really good. I'm going to go with the bottom one, though.
Oh, look, green blinky is the right spot. Good job, guys. You got it. You got it.
Got it in your final season. Woohoo.
Yep.
Oh, this is cool because it's a Sovereign with the stripe of the Cerritos. We could assume there's different colored stripes versions in this universe. And then Cerritos style nacelles, which makes it the Sovereign... It looks good on it still, but it definitely gives it a different vibe. As per this picture. It still feels very sovereign-y.
Well, that doesn't highlight the texture changes, which actually I think the other one does a better job on.
Yeah. I just wanted to pull this in for a second, because I do like the look of those nacelles on this design, but...
They oddly work.
Yeah.
Even though they're very disparate shapes of the organic sleek and the not. Yeah, I mean, this is an example of... We already have a Sovereign. Cool. How long will it take to change the UV map textures to include 3S detail? Half a day. Can we afford that? Yes. Okay, do it. Okay. So at least they put in some time and effort. And it does the joke, which is this is not a Sovereign, it's a Cerritos Sovereign, which is why when people argue in this sequence these things, oh look, a Sovereign obviously exists in our universe, therefore everything else exists. This is not a Sovereign. It's a California class Sovereign. This does not exist in our universe, no. This is an alternate Cerritos Sovereign. There is no Sovereign with yellow stripes, blue escape pods, blue phaser strips, all those engines. This does not exist in our universe, no. It is different.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And actually it works reasonably well. It's a little bit sillier looking, but not much. And that's fine.
And it's not called the Van Sitters.
Ooh, but that did look good too. I mean, I'm easily a strong B because it works surprisingly well. But is it creative enough to get into A, given A's are a slightly higher tier of cool?
Well, it raises the question, where would the Terran Empire version of the Cerritos go? Because it is the Cerritos Sovereign style nacelles, which we know that Captain Freeman doesn't like because she said you can refit it as long as it doesn't come out looking all sovereign.
I mean, that doesn't work as well, but it's way more changed.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, Stuart, that's not a question I can answer unless you guys make me answer it. So you're gonna go with a B then? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Works better than the...
It does, yes. Well, there's more going on. It feels fuller. Because it is fuller.
Yeah.
Would have been cool with the third nacelle, though. Sovereigns, I think, tend to work with this third nacelle, but...
Yes.
Hey, good to end on, though. That's the last one we're going to get in our last minute. Yeah, an eclectic bunch of ships. Both legacy, alien, new, old. And who'd have thunk it, Stuart? A Pakled warship.
That's only S tier.
Is the top ranking ship in Star Trek Lower Decks.
We gave our reasoning, so...
Now, there are others that might have got there. But we haven't quite got there. And it was on the thumbnail because I think it's great. I would love to see what would have placed the alternate Romulan Decks. Because they're only in a couple of shots, but that's...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The original concept version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not identical. It is different.
General Grievous, member for 32 months at the rank of lieutenant.
Thank you.
If Lower Decks had another season and our Cerritos got destroyed in the season finale, which Cerritos variant would you pick as the Cerritos A?
Don't think that's how they would frame that as a thing. It's a good question, though.
I would like the Cerritos A to be a Parliament class.
That's a big upgrade, yeah. If I was doing that, I would close the nacelle struts because that would imply evolution forward, and I would close up the nacelle grills on the top and bottom to again imply we can now keep them contained and kind of refine those shapes a bit, maybe. And yeah, basically all the negative space I would close up and make new struts and make that stuff all a bit sleeker.
Well, General Grievous, though, throws in $2 and says the Klingon Bird of Prey battle cruiser in the final episode. That's an easy answer for me where this going tier-wise, just for the record.
Okay, that's a tease. What's a good shot I can pick? Because I did so many. That's probably a good combo of both. Or of,
Dun, dun, dun.
Boy, it's dirty.
It is. It is a cool ship, though.
Or is that one kind of better because it's got every view or lots of different close-ups? Well, yeah, no.
No, go back to that other one.
So what do you think, Stuart?
Test here. It just looks so good and beefy in that episode, and I want to see more of it. Honestly, we talked about this video not that long ago. Go check it out. But I love little changes that are done here to kind of just take at first glance, oh look, a bird of prey. Wait a minute, that's different. And you get into it, and it's like, this is a nice looking design. More, please.
Yeah, this is. I think I'm gonna agree with your S because it is just nicking parts a la Pakled, but it is great at the Song of Said parts a la Pakled. It feels amazing in the episode a la Pakled. I guess I'm gonna stop that joke now. But it's really successful. It's shockingly successful for what my team.
Pakled.
Yeah, thank you. For what my team could have. You could kit bash this in a day and have time to play Helldivers for 4 hours and 5 hours, right? But it works really well, and it's very successful. This is a great swan song, and I think it achieves everything really well.
And the funny thing is, between Lower Decks and Prodigy, we've got a few different variations of the Klingon Bird of Prey now. Prodigy has at least 3 different versions. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, TNG, they did just reuse Bird of Prey, but did new ones too. That's a great way of doing it.
Yeah.
Right, damn. I like it.
Parliament class was foiled by the chat. Yes, but if you put in $5, you can move the Parliament class back up to where it belongs.
And that'll get our goal.
Somebody $5 to move the Parliament class up to S tier. I would be super happy, and we would hit our goal, and it'd be amazing.
A Federation starship at the top.
As there should be.
As there should be. But it's not up to us, is it? But Stuart, remind everyone what we're doing on Sunday, because you all are all going to be here for that.
You're all going to be here on Sunday in the afternoon for the Drunkyards review of Section 31, the streaming movie on Paramount Plus. Will it be good? Will it be garbage? Does it matter when we're drunk? I don't know. It's going to be our typical review style, and we're going to go through the whole movie and judge it accordingly. And you guys get to help by putting in your input, putting in super chats to get us to drink. So who knows how that review is going to go by the halfway point, because my God, you could really do us in, and we probably appreciate it, because it's going to take some alcohol or some alterations to our persona to make it through that, I think.
Well, it's going to be something interesting, because we're going to be fair, as we always are, good and bad, as we always will be. We're going to judge it as it should be judged, a Star Trek movie. And therefore up there with the other Star Trek movies, which, given inflation and such, and CGI costs, etc., I'm sure it was made a higher budget than several other Star Trek movies. Because that's how, inflation, etc. So we'll go judge it compared to TMP, to Star Trek 5, to Insurrection, to Nemesis, to 09, to Darkness, to Beyond. We'll see where it is on the pantheon of Star Trek movies.
Daniel Grievous, $5. Cerritos to S tier. Love my Cali class. Perfect. Bumped up. Threefold Path, £5. Parliament deserves S for being so early in the series, so bump it up one more. Yep, I will bump it up, and I will take away the arrow because it was originally there.
And look at you guys throwing in the Lower Decks love right at the end. That makes such a difference. Thank you so much. And Gorgonzola asks, question for everyone as we're about to run out of time. What ship from Lower Deck should he build out of Lego? To add Lego and Blue Bricks, add the Blue Bricks collection. Ooh. I mean, if you can make it, Starbase 80 would be very impressive.
Single nacelled Cerritos. Freedom class. Give it a try.
Landed Defiant. But it has to have a thing, a minifigure on the bottom.
The ring ship, the Beagle.
Yeah. Those are our options. Don't do Pakled, it'll be too difficult. There's too many parts and pieces, and that'd suck. Yeah. Alright, so we'll see you guys very soon. We'll talk tomorrow, and you'll see us soon, and you'll see videos, and good luck, everyone!
And join us on Sunday. Till next time. He's Commander Trekyard.
He is Captain Foley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.